At this point, we're going to the next speaker, to the mayor of Astypalea, Mr. Komineas. Κύριε Κομινέα, θέλετε να συνεχίσουμε στα ελληνικά, στα αγγλικά?
Okay, in English, it would be perfect.
Perfectly. Then in English, Mr. Komineas, thank you very much for being today with us.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you very much. I have the opportunity to present the program we are running in Astypalea. And first of all, to get to know us better, so I will present some things about and statistics about Astypalea, so you all know what it's all about and how island is. So it's a strategy for smart and sustainable development and innovation in Astypalea Island. This island, Astypalea, as you can see here on that slide, it's not regulated. It only has 1,334 inhabitants. And of course, in the summertime, we get much more bigger. And that's why we become nearly to whole the region, about 70,000 people are coming and going outside of the village. Therefore, that means that in a certain period of the year, there are a lot of people here in the island and a lot of vehicles here on the island. The island of Astypalea remains genuine, traditional and pure, with inherent assets, unique ecosystems and cultural heritage that has started 1,000 years ago, significant social capital and entrepreneurial mission. But also, we want to face structural challenges, and therefore, energy dependency on fossil fuels that have to be changed, high transportation costs, limited economic diversification and access to markets. Those are things that we face every day in Astypalea. And we have to face them and, of course, to find solutions. The vision, of course, for us was and is the transition to a clean, green, and smart island, offering higher quality of life to its inhabitants and visitors, of course. Using cutting-edge technologies to enhance local infrastructures, and through the exploitation of its untapped natural and cultural resources, Astypalea aims to become a model of sustainable and circular economy development. This is the idea. We think it has to be also in the mind of the mayors and the citizens of the rest of the islands, because the islands can host projects that demonstrate the added value of innovative technologies in the smart and efficient infrastructure and resources management. Due to their insular character, islands needs to activate synergies among different technologies, applying circular, symbiotic, and sector-coupled solutions that can minimize environmental impact and maximize the capitalization of local resources. In this frame, islands can function as test beds producing important knowledge of high added value and replicability potential to other insular, but also urban areas. The priorities and the approach we have as an island is to elaborate an integrated development strategy and to plan interventions in infrastructure. Therefore, drink water from the tap of energy household, reuse of water from the waste water treatment plant for irrigation purposes, complete recycling of all forms of solid waste, process and disposal of bio-waste for animal feed and fertilizers. Most important is to produce energy from renewable energy sources to cover exclusively the island's energy demand, develop e-mobility infrastructures and replace municipal fleet, improve the reliability and extend the length of the road network, and of course, develop cycling and walking routes to promote sustainable tourism. Also, the municipality will implement the integrated development strategy by implementing a participatory planning process actively involving citizens, which we think is very important, Local businesses and bodies in the planning and implementation phases to ensure substantial engagement and ownership of the interventions by the local community, as well as durability of the results. By proposing a novel business model for the deployment and operation of the hybrid power station, setting up an energy community with the participation of the municipality, PPC, local stakeholders, but also a strategic investor, tech provider through a competitive tender. Also, by expanding the scope of this energy community as an integrated smart and green utility island operator, undertaking the operation also of other infrastructure, as it is water production, treatment and distribution systems, waste and by-waste management systems, the network of charging stations for electrical vehicles, fleet or shared electric vehicles, etc. Thus, the synergies of the individual infrastructure, as well as the employment of the limited available human resources, can be optimized. Now, this is an holistic approach we had in mind when we wanted to get involved in this smart and sustainable island, as you see now. The pillars of the project is A, on-demand shuttle and vehicle sharing service, B, electromobility, C, vehicle charging infrastructure, and D, clean energy production, last but not least. On-demand shuttle and vehicle sharing service, it's a new innovative mobility service, namely rider sharing and stationary vehicle sharing. By that, we plan to reduce the use of the cars, and by 1,500 cars of any type that are on the island to become 1,000 at least. The traditional bus public transport shall be transformed into a ride-sharing service that will deploy 100% electric on-demand shuttles. These shuttles shall be operated on the island according to the needs of both locals and visitors. The entire island shall become accessible by public transport to everyone, day and night, and during the whole year round. Electric cars, bikes, and scooters shall be available also at various stations across the entire island. Now, for electromobility, the challenges is reduction of the current vehicle park on the island, as I said. Carbon neutral mobility and smart mobility management. The vehicle park shall be converted to sustainable electric mobility. Switch the existing fleet of combustion vehicles with electric vehicles from micromobility, bikes, and so on, to passengers' car to itinerant light commercial vehicles. Passenger vehicles from local residents as well as commercial vehicles from local businesses shall also be gradually electrified. And utility vehicles such as police vehicles, ambulance and authority vehicles, municipality vehicles, and so on shall also be decadally replaced with electrical vehicles also. The vehicle charging infrastructure, wide charging infrastructure network will be implemented. Charging infrastructure shall consist of private and semi-public charging points that shall mainly be installed at private residences, car rental agencies, tax businesses, and vehicle sharing stations. Most of them probably are going to have also fast chargers. Ensuring flexible operation of the planned ride-sharing service, fast charging infrastructure shall also be implemented. Public charging stations scattered across the island shall complete the network, making charging possible everywhere, including at beach spots, because in the summertime, a lot of people, they go there, and we plan to do it. And as for the clean energy production, this is a big challenge also. Astypalea possesses a significant and untapped green energy potential. Substantially increase the use of solar and wind energy in order to cut existing dependence on fossil fuels, increase self-reliance, and drastically reduce CO2 emissions. Ensure that the majority of the electricity needs on the island shall be covered by renewable energy sources. And that means that we have to install the necessary hybrid power system consisted of solar and wind power production together with batteries, so we can have electricity power the whole day long. The additional electricity demand due to the introduction of e-mobility shall be exclusively covered by renewable energy sources. This was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. I think I have given you some information of the plan we are working now and the program we're working now on Astypalea, and to invite you all participants and all the people that they see us right now through internet to come to Astypalea vacation this year and become members of this holistic program we run now here on the island. Thank you very much.
We thank you, Mayor, Mr. Komineas, thank you very much. I see now a question from a member, from Theocharis Vlachopanagiotis. How does tourist seasonality affect e-mobility services in Astypalea?
Of course it affects, because we have about 200, let's say, cars that they are owned by rent car businesses. And therefore, in the summertime, those cars, they are on the roads. Besides that, we have the cars that the visitors bring here to Astypalea, and therefore the amount of the cars gets 3 or 4 times bigger than usually. That means some hundreds of cars, 500-600 cars they are on the road in the summertime. And as you know, it's the summertime, the people are on vacation. They want to go from one place to the other. Therefore, it's a problem. By this car sharing model, I think we can eliminate that, because one car can be used on different hours a day without having the owner or the renter to keep it the whole day long. And one car can serve several people or families during the day. Therefore, I'm very fond of this program too.
Perfect, perfect. What can I say? Thank you very much. I see, okay, one last questions we have. From one moment, please, because we have time for one question. Yes, follow-up question from the same participant, Theocharis Vlachopanagiotis. What happens to this fleet of 200 cars in the winter? Would collaborations with the mainland cities where cars are shared work?
I think this car share will work. Those 200 cars, they are put in private areas, usually or in certain park places which they are covered, and they are kept there during the winter time. And of course, they take them out when the season begins, and of course, they are on the road then. Perfectly.
Mr. Komineas, thank you very much. Thank you for traveling us with your pictures to our beautiful island of Astypalea. And thank you to showing us that the beauty combined with the innovative technologies can be the example. Let's be the example for the entire world. Thank you very much.